Hi guys! So for today's video I'm going to be doing my monthly favorites, which I always really enjoy doing. As much as I love talking to you guys about books, I do really like getting to just sit down and talk to you about any cool deals I've found or any like inexpensive items that I think you guys might appreciate knowing about. Anything like that. It's just nice to sit down and every now and then talk about other things besides books. That being said, I'm actually going to go back on that for just a second and mention that one of my favorite things this month, not related to you guys whatsoever, but you'll notice my bookshelves now look a little different. I don't have flowers and pictures and stuff like that on my shelves so much anymore. Just focus on books. I can't wait to eventually film a bookshelf tour for you guys because I feel like my bookshelves are finally looking the way my husband and I want them to look. They're actually filled with primarily books now. So eventually I'm going to get around to that, but anyway, I'm just super excited because you guys can't see the upper shelves, but I'm just loving the way they're looking. Anyway, another thing that I've just been so happy about is that you guys have heard me mention the organization Save the Children a few times on my channel. It's an organization that helps children all over the world in all aspects of their lives, and I have a link in all of my videos now in the description bar for this organization in case any of you are interested in donating. I had a goal to try and raise $500 for this organization, and to be perfectly honest, I haven't done much yet. I've been kind of waiting. I was going to work with some other booktubers, and I still am, to try and raise awareness for this organization. But the $500 goal has already been met. I'm so excited about that. So that's the #1 favorite thing. You guys are awesome. I'm so excited that because, you know, it says on their website $500 raised is enough to buy an entire bookshelf to help, like, bookshelf filled with books to help kids learn to read. And I just think that that's so great. It's not like I have a massive platform, but it's really important to me to try and do what I can to make the world a better place. And you guys are helping with that. And I just think that that's so great. So I know it's not like, oh, here's this awesome product or something like that, but I just think it's so wonderful. Thank you to you guys. You guys are wonderful. But anyway, jumping into like official favorites now that you guys can hopefully get some benefit out of. The first is actually somewhat book related. It is another booktube channel, and I don't normally talk about other booktube channels very often because I just like watching whoever and anybody. I enjoy booktube, and I never really talk about booktubers much as far as doing like, oh, this is my favorite booktuber kind of a thing, just because I don't ever want anybody to feel like they need to try and replicate that kind of a channel or that their channel isn't as good or anything like that. But there's this channel and it's so unique, and this girl is so talented that I just had to tell you guys about it. It's called Books in 5. I mentioned it in a tag video I recently did. She's amazing. She does illustrations that show up like on the screen while she's talking about books, and she does everything in under 5 minutes, which is great for busy people who don't really have time to watch a 20-minute long like book rant or something. But she's so funny and happy and talented, and these videos are just so interesting the way she does these illustrations. So I'm gonna link her channel in the description bar down below. She's hilarious, super talented. You guys should go check her out. The next few favorites of mine are actually TV show and movie related, and the first being the new season of a show called Bojack Horseman. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that show. It's on Netflix, and the 4th season just came out. 4th season is great. It's an interesting show. It's about like a kind of a washed up 90s sitcom actor, and he happens to be a horse. It's an animated show. It sounds really bizarre, and when you first start watching it, it kind of feels like it's just supposed to be a comedy. But it's almost like a drama. It's so intense. It makes you feel just all sorts of emotions. There's some really depressing, dark stuff that happens on that show, but it's so good. I can't recommend it enough. I'm really curious if any of you guys are also fans of that show. But the 4th season just came out. It's amazing. Every season, if you look up reviews, just gets better and better, so I highly recommend Bojack Horseman. Just as a disclaimer, there is some intense adult content in that show, so probably don't have it on when the kids are around. There's also some political episodes, and some of them, depending on your view of things, you might not find them very tasteful, but overall, it's amazing. Next up is a show that I actually meant to mention in my last favorites video and then just kind of forgot, but it would be the Defenders, Marvel's Defenders series on Netflix. If you guys have kept up with all of the superhero shows on Netflix, there is Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, and I would say 3 of the 4 are amazing. I wasn't the biggest fan of Iron Fist, but it's kind of necessary. if you really want to know everything that's going on in the Defenders. But the Defenders is where all of them come together to kick a bunch of butt, and it's so good. My favorite by far of all of them, though, has been the first season of Daredevil. I just don't think they can beat it. It was so good. It was so gritty, and just like the action scenes are so amazing. But anyway, the Defenders, so awesome. It's on Netflix. You guys should definitely check it out. And then a favorite movie of mine that recently came out on DVD would be Logan. It's everything I've been talking about, TV show related and movie related, is like very rated R and like super violent, or there's language or whatever, just things you don't want the kids around for. But Logan is so good. It's so like depressing and sad and dark, and just he's such a mess in that video. But it follows Wolverine from X-Men, and I can't give too much away because I don't want to ruin the plot or anything, but it's so good. It's so good. If you guys are fans of Wolverine as a character and you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend it. It is so, so good. If you have seen it, let me know, because I love that movie. Next up is actually a board game that I've really been loving. I love board games, and my husband and I, we find it's difficult to find a good two-player board games, and he was given this board game for his birthday. It's called Battle Line, and on Amazon I think it's only around 20 bucks, which is pretty inexpensive for a board game, because board games can be really expensive. But the way it works, to just give you kind of like a brief idea of how to play, is you have these little pieces that are supposed to be flags in like a battle. And then you have a deck of cards with kind of like regular cards. It's 1 through 10, so there's no Jack, King, Queen, or aces. But it's 1 through 10, different colors, a lot of different colors. And the goal is to play a better hand next to each of the flags than your opponent, and whoever either gets 5 flags or 3 flags in a row wins. There's also these weird strategy cards mixed in to add extra elements to the game, but it's quite simple. I know maybe how I described it sounds really confusing, but it's actually not that hard to play and learn at all, but it's difficult to figure out how to strategize best against your opponent. It's really fun. If you guys are fans of strategy games and not games that are just completely based off of luck, this is super fun. And lastly, I feel like it wouldn't be a favorites video if I didn't talk about something food related. So I actually have for you guys, because I've been trying to eat a little better, and I'm not like by any means super healthy at all, but I try to discover ways to eat delicious, yummy food or drinks without like sacrificing delicious taste. One of the things I've been trying to do is to find a really, really good chocolate recipe, because I always have a sweet tooth. I love chocolate, and I just feel like there are no good chocolate recipes out there that don't have like bananas in them, and I'm not a fan of bananas. I think they're just too overpowering. So I've been trying super hard to find a yummy chocolate recipe for a smoothie, and I think I've come up with one that a lot of you will like if you're like me and you want some kind of chocolate smoothie. But anyway, it ends up tasting like a milkshake. It's so good. But here are the ingredients. If you're just making it for yourself, this actually is a pretty good amount, but I've been using 1 cup of chocolate almond milk. Sorry, I've got it on my phone. 1 cup of chocolate almond milk, 1/2 cup of regular vanilla almond milk, 2 spoonfuls of vanilla yogurt, 1.5 teaspoons of almond butter, 2 tablespoons of chocolate protein powder. You guys don't have to put the protein powder in. It's not like I've been doing it because I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get muscles or something, but it actually tastes pretty good. It adds a nice texture. I put a tiny, tiny amount of this peanut powder that I've been getting. And then the last ingredient is just ice. Any amount of ice you want. Makes it super cold. Again, adds a nice texture. But anyway, if you guys try out this recipe and you like it, let me know, because I think it's super yummy. And if you guys have any other chocolate smoothie recipes that don't involve bananas that are different than the one that I do, let me know, because if I could find more ways to consume chocolate without it being really bad for me, that would be awesome. Anyway, that's it for all the things that I've been loving this month. If you guys have any of your own things that you've been loving this month, feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. But anyway, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you get notified when I post new videos, and check out some of my videos right over here. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.